NFL draft is happening later this week, and Auburn currently has 3 players who are expected to be drafted. This is the lowest number for Auburn since 2016. Brian Harsin has tried to make a big point coming in that he's going to turn things around and make Auburn a place where players come to get drafted to the NFL. But this week, that's not going to happen. We will have three guys possibly getting drafted, and let's talk about who those 3 players are, with Zacoby McClain, Roger McCreary, and Smoke Monday. There was an article written by Tom Green at AL.com, and he compiled some predictions from notable figures in the analyst world in the NFL, and he compiled where these people are predicting these 3 Auburn players to be drafted. And so I want to start with the player who's likely to be drafted the highest and should be drafted the highest for Auburn, and that is Roger McCreary. So what I'll give you is I'm going to tell you the highest place they're predicted based on this one article, highest place they're predicting to go, and the lowest. And I'll do that for each of these 3 players. So starting with Roger McCreary, who was a cornerback for Auburn last year, the highest he is predicted to be drafted is 45th overall in the second round to the Baltimore Ravens. And that prediction was made by CBS Sports' Ryan Wilson on April 20th. The lowest he's predicted to go is 52nd overall, and that was made by the Athletics' Dan Brugler on April 14th. That is still the second round to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Moving on to Smoke Monday. Smoke Monday was safety for Auburn. These are the current predictions for him. The highest he is predicted to go is, and his kind of range from the 4th to the 6th round, most of them falling in the 6th round, but the highest prediction is from NFL.com's Chad Reuter. On April 8th, he was predicted to go 4th round, 134th overall to the San Francisco 49ers. I don't know why I got so tongue-tied right there. The lowest he's predicted to be drafted is in the 6th round, 186th overall. Once again, the Athletics' Dan Brugler on April 14th to the Chicago Bears. Finally, we have Zacoby McClain, linebacker for Auburn last year. The highest he's predicted to be drafted is 246th overall to the Cleveland Browns. That prediction was made on April 20th by CBS Sports' Ryan Wilson. And the lowest he's predicted to go is 7th round, 259th overall to the Kansas City Chiefs, and that was made by Sporting News' Vinny Iyer. So there you have the predictions where these guys are likely to be drafted. If you ask me for what I'm expecting, I expect Roger McCreary to go high or early on in the 2nd round. For the other guys, Smoke Monday more than likely is going to be late 5th, possibly early 6th round. And then if Zacoby McClain is drafted, it'll be in the 7th round, and I do think he will get drafted in the 7th round. But that's the one I'm not so sure about, is what will happen with Zacoby McClain. But we will have to see where he goes later on this week. And if he does get drafted, more than likely it's going to be on that last day, which I believe is the 28th. But that last day of the draft is when I am expecting him to go. I believe it's April 28th. Before I finish this video, I want to tell you about a sponsor, University Traditions. As you can see, I'm actually wearing one of their hats right now. They make great hats to support your team, in this case, Auburn. And if you want to get your own hat similar to the one I'm currently wearing, or one like this, you can go to universitytraditions.biz, and you can actually get 10% off of your order when you use code INFINITE10. Now back to the video. So there's a lot that can happen between now and the actual draft. Probably not a whole lot will change, but the main takeaway from this is that this is not a good draft year for Auburn. This is not something to brag about. Our worst performance in the draft more than likely is happening this year since 2016, and we've got a lot we need to change, but Brian Harsin is doing what he needs to change the brand of Auburn from things like hiring Ike Hilliard at wide receivers coach. That is a good move. That brings that NFL brand to college football for people wanting to come to Auburn. And when he does things like making the signing day more like an NFL draft style signing day, that's something that's good for players to see. There's a lot of other stuff that he can do and is probably working on, but the brand has to change, and I know that has been a very important piece for Brian Harsin and his crew. To see what actually happens with these players and where they get drafted, make sure you tune in later this week so that you can see where we end up, because I will do a follow-up video once the draft is over. Thank you for watching this one. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one.